This is hands down going to be my favorite video that I have recorded this month. What is up, YouTube? It's your girl Rochelle, and I am back with another video. That's right, y'all. It is already time for us to talk about our mortgage payoff progress for October 2021. Now, if that's something you'd be interested in, then stick around. Welcome everyone to our Goodbye October series, where I am dropping a video every single day for the rest of the month. And if I am just ecstatic, I'm trying to keep my thoughts in order. This is hands down going to be my favorite video that I have recorded this month. And I think it's because we overcame a lot of hurdles. Like, we had some things that were going on as far as like our mortgage payoff journey, kind of like some hiccups in the road. And if you saw one of my recent Instagram posts, you know that I was talking about how I was just so tired of paying down debt. I think we get to a point where we get burnt out, and this is like year 5 for us. I don't know, I lose count. We didn't start to get really excited about paying down our mortgage until last year. That was in 2020, and I have learned so much between then and now, and I just like to share my journey along the way in case it could be helpful for some of you out there who are doing the same thing. Y'all, we are paying this mortgage down, trying to get rid of it. And just a disclaimer, if you are thinking like, oh, instead of paying down your mortgage, why don't you invest? I am definitely team invest. It's just that when we actually ran the numbers, and I'm going to show you the numbers, it actually made more sense for us to pay the mortgage off and free up some of our income. So let's dive right in. First, we're going to talk about our new mortgage balance and what progress we made. We're going to talk about how we were able to remove escrow, hopefully, from our mortgage account. It's still like getting in the final stages, but we're going to be positive about this. And then third, we're going to talk about homeowners insurance and how that relates to a rental property. So like I said, lots of updates. Let's dive right in. Okay, so for the face-to-face stuff, what stuff can we talk about that I need to share with you guys before we switch over to the pen and paper? Okay. First thing, I definitely highly recommend that you write down your goals, because you never know what goal you may be able to achieve if you put in the work. And I honestly can say that because here's our October budget, and you can see down at the bottom, our goal was to decrease our mortgage down to $13,499.99 at the very least. And we did that, y'all. We did it. Okay? Let me share with you the numbers, because I know that's what you came for. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I am inside of our home buying and mortgage payoff guide that I created myself. If you want to see what it's all about, definitely check out some of my other mortgage payoff videos on my second channel, and I go into more detail about what it's all about. But this thing has been a game changer for me. It's checking all the boxes. I really wanted something that I could use in my videos so that I could really be intentional with every video and see our progress while we're paying this thing off. And if you are a new home buyer, you're thinking about buying a home, highly recommend. I include a lot of tips in the home buying process here and a to-do list. And I also have a blank here because, you know, sometimes you have your own thing. And so we'll talk about our savings and all of that jazz, our stats, all that. Okay, let's jump to the good stuff. Let's jump to this right here. Okay, so I created a challenge. You know me, I love savings challenges, and I thought, why not create a mortgage payoff challenge? Because like I said, guys, I was tired of this mortgage. And sometimes when you're looking at your list of debts, you know, you could choose the debt avalanche method, or you could, you know, use the debt snowball method, or you can just pick the debt that you are emotionally tied to. And I think that's where I am right now in my process. Is we paid off all of our old consumer debt. We do have some new consumer debt that we acquired in the year 2021, because we were consumer debt free all of last year, at the end of last year. But when we looked at our mortgage and really ran the numbers, we decided that, you know, we'd been inside of our mortgage for about 12 years or 13 years at that point. And we said, you know what if we could knock out this little bit of mortgage by year 15, because so many people tell you, oh, when you buy a house, you should, definitely consider a 15-year mortgage. And I'm going to be honest and real with y'all. We weren't in no financial state to take on a 15-year mortgage. Our mortgage payments would have been unaffordable for us at that point in time. So I'm glad that, even though we still have the 30-year, we are treating it as a 15-year. So I challenged myself to make as many payments as I possibly could in the month of October. So of course we started off with the first one where we made our regular mortgage payment of $596.64, which automatically brought us down to $14,623.94. Now we know it's a regular mortgage payment, so the whole thing does not go to principal. And I've shared, in other video breakdowns and how that actually goes briefly, just to show you, because it's different every month, and this is why you should track it. I'm going to share with you our payment breakdown for our regular mortgage payment. So you can see over time, this is our payment breakdown over time for the year 2021. And look how the numbers change. Our principal payments have increased, our interest has gone down, and our escrow has stayed the same. So for the month of October, $236.05 went to principal, which is the most we have ever been able to send out of a regular mortgage payment. So yeah, we're excited. Okay, so that was payment number one, which was our regular payment from paycheck one. Now, in that same paycheck, we also had a little bit left over because we send $640 every time my husband gets paid to our mortgage account. So an additional $43.36 brought our mortgage down to $14,570.58, which was all principal. Then we made an additional $100 payment. This was just extra money that we found in my husband's first paycheck, because we had budgeted that we would receive about $3,000 and we actually made more. So we found an extra $100, boom, took it down to $14,470.58. Then it was time for paycheck number two. My husband got paid again 2 weeks later, and we made a principal payment of $640. So our goal every month is to do bare minimum 2 mortgage payments. And by doing that, we have seen amazing progress. That brought our mortgage down to $13,830.58. But we weren't done yet. This is where we put things into auto drive, y'all. First, I had a nice YouTube income. If you want to know how much I made and what I did with it, here, definitely check out my YouTube paycheck video. But the good news from out of that whole video is that I was able to put $200 toward our mortgage, which was definitely not expected. You never know how a month is going to go here on YouTube. And the fact that I can send $200 towards my debt is just crazy. From doing something that I enjoy is just amazing. Thank you guys. So you guys made that happen. $200 brought it down to $13,630.58. Then when my husband got paid this second time and we made our regular principal payment, he received some reimbursements in that paycheck also, and we decided to put some of that toward our debt snowball also. So let's talk about some of this stuff. So first up, we decided to put $9.39 toward our mortgage, and that was so that we could reach a milestone, an amortization milestone. So this is why you want to use an amortization schedule, y'all, because you could be $9.39 away from your next milestone, and the quicker that you are able to shade off and check off those milestones on your amortization schedule, that's less interest, new interest that can be, that you can accrue on your mortgage. So I'm really glad we caught that $9. Then we found an additional $730.61 in my husband's pay, and that's a combination of things. So of course it was my husband's pay, but it was also some interest that had accrued in our bank account that we pay our mortgage from, and that was also from me doing one of my savings challenges, one of my monthly savings challenges, which was the Fall for Fall savings challenge created by Money with Gab. We make these savings challenges count over here. So that's why I love doing savings challenges that are weekly, monthly, and annually, because sometimes you need to see those wins more often than, doing a 52-week challenge where you're only going to be able to see how much you saved, a year from now. How about, maybe doing, I don't know, a 10-week challenge or a 1-month challenge? Just challenge yourself to do a short-term challenge so that maybe you can throw some money towards some debt that you didn't know you had. So that was the biggest milestone. And then I went and checked my amortization schedule again, y'all. And I realized that we were only $14.31 away from our next milestone. So we were able to really rock and roll on this amortization schedule, which we're about to shade in next. So I say all that to say, we are ending the month of October with a new mortgage balance of $12,876.27. We're not going to leave that 27 cents out, okay? I am so happy with our progress. What that means is we were able to shave $2,123.72 from off of our principal, like right from these main numbers here. And so you can see, like, we actually had found an extra $100 before we started them, $150 before we started the month of October. So that was cool too, because these were, again, monthly savings challenges that we had done. And you know, you guys know if you watch my savings challenge videos. But yeah, these numbers are just amazing. I hope we can keep it going, because remember, our goal, we have 2 more months with this. Our goal in the month of December is to get this mortgage down to at least $9,999. And that's going to happen a series of different ways. It's by us doing things like what we did this month up here. It's also going to, you know, include payments made from our savings challenges, our yearly savings challenges that we're doing. And it's going to be our monthly savings challenges. So this is why you see me doing so many savings challenges. I'm really trying to squeeze every penny and make it count. Now, out of all the money that we paid this month, like, you know, you see these differences here, and you see the amounts paid. The amount total paid toward the mortgage, total $2,484.31, which still isn't bad. It meant that there was a difference of $360.59 that went toward escrow and interest. So, you know, we're just gonna focus on the positive. We were able to shave off almost $2,500 from off of our mortgage in 1 month. And that might not sound like a lot if you are someone who has a larger mortgage payment, but when your mortgage payment is only $596, basically $600, you're talking 6, 12, 18, 24. We paid basically 4 times the worth of our mortgage in 1 month. And I have to, again, shout out these savings challenges and the amortization schedule. Speaking of which. Okay, so you've seen me shade in my amortization schedule many a time. It looks like this. We are on page 8 of 9. This is the last 12, 13 years of our life right here on 9 sheets of paper. It's a lot of hard work that went into, you know, and a lot of sacrifice that went into paying down this mortgage. And the fact that we are on page 8 and we only had this much progress to go is just crazy. And of course we have page 9, but I want to shout out a commenter who commented, a subscriber, hopefully, who commented on one of my videos a while back. I have to say that this could have been 2 or 3 months ago. They said, you know, I love that you're doing an amortization schedule, but did you know that some credit unions and banks now offer individualized ones that are directly made just for your loan. Now, if you're in a home buying process or you have a car loan or whatever, they usually will issue you an amortization schedule at the time that you sign up. And they'll say, here's your numbers. It's your responsibility to pay us back timely. Here's you know, your schedule. Well, for us, I misplaced that. I could not find it. I mean, we moved from Maryland to Hawaii. A lot was going on. So I just thought it was lost forever. I had asked my credit union a ton of times over the years for a new one, and I was always told that, you know, oh, we're gonna, you know, you have to come into the branch to get that. Well, I live in Hawaii and my branch is not here. So fast forward to, I'm on the phone with one of my reps from my credit union, and he proceeds to tell me that it is now available electronically by request. And so I got it. I'm so happy. Thumbnail. Okay. So the best part about my personalized amortization schedule is that it's only 1 page left. What? This is it. This page right here is the difference between me and being mortgage free. Like, if you guys only know, it's a very emotional journey. And the fact that I'm going to be able to get rid of these, I'm still going to probably hold on to them just at least until we're mortgage free. Then we're going to rip this thing into a million pieces, okay? But this is why it's good to stay on top of your finances and stay on top of your loan journey, and stay in touch with the creditors and the banks and the credit unions that you're using, because things that were the same before change over time. And I have a lot to say about this pandemic, but I choose not to speak on it on my channel. But one thing I definitely have seen is all of a sudden everything's electronic. And how amazing is that now all of a sudden, you're able to get stuff like this, and maybe this happened before the pandemic. I'm not even going to go there, but I know for a fact my credit union was really into verifying me. They'll be like, oh, we have to know it's you. You need to come into the branch. That's just me personally, the relationship that I had. And I understand the fact that they didn't want to make a mistake and give out my information to someone who wasn't me. And so I always respected that. But I gotta say, this electronic way is beautiful. So let's look at it. Okay, so I apologize also. There's going to be an adjustment in the sound quality because I'm switching between filming on my phone and my camera so that we can, get this done in real time. But you can see this is hot off the press, guys. I printed this literally on the 26th of October. So you guys are getting this, just right now in the heat of the moment. So you can see that this now includes my actual numbers. This is my actual schedule for my personal loan. And they sent it to me like this. So basically how it goes is it has your payment numbers going down the first column. The second column is your estimated payment dates, your beginning balances, payment amounts, and then it has your interest and principal, and then your end balance. And the crazy part is, like, even if we were to stop right now and start putting all of our free money into investing and only pay the minimum, we would still be mortgage free by, can you guys see that? September of 2025, which ain't bad, right? Like, we're in the year 2021, so that's 4 years from now, but that still feels like you're taking my money. And that's the whole reason I'm emotionally tied to this mortgage for so many reasons. And so when I see, our payment, this is exciting, seeing our new payment breakdown being over $322 every month for the duration, like from here on out. Remember, I just showed you our biggest payment amount was $232. But the fact that we're, automatically upping that is it's beautiful. And I'm going to assume that this is our new payment schedule without the escrow. We're going to do a count real quick. $596.64 is our regular mortgage payment, minus $322.67 is our new payment amount, and then minus our, no, it's still including escrow, $322, because the payment amount is $322. So it could actually get better than this. I will request a new amortization schedule once I find out for sure that our escrow has been removed. So I'm telling you guys, this is like in the moment. I was trying to have a full update on our escrow by the time I dropped this video, but it's a process. It's a process is all I'll say. But this is still, I will take it. So here's our new balance that we're starting with. $12,876.27. So we're going to go ahead and shade that in. Let's start with green, because this means that we are starting this page off fresh. Boom. Don't worry about my shading, y'all. It's never perfect. And so we will put that this actually happened on 10/26. And so the only unfortunate part that I already see that I don't like about this schedule is you can't see what happened in the past. So this is why I'm still going to be referring to this one here, because you can see that October, this is how much progress we made in the month of October. I've already shaded it in because we already had talked about it in my other mortgage payoff update videos from earlier this month on my second channel, Rochelle Adamson. I'll tag it somewhere here where you can see exactly what I was able to do to make this happen. Like, y'all, we sacrificed. And so at this point, I'm still going to go off of our original numbers. We are still 12 years and 2 months ahead on our mortgage payoff. So, we're not supposed to pay off this thing until August 2037. I can't even say that. Like, how will we pronounce that in those years? 2037. It's crazy. So, anyway, I am happy that this is still on one sheet of paper because it feels achievable. It feels real. And so I'm just hoping that, I will hear nothing but good news back from my credit union about my amortization schedule and about my escrow. And speaking of escrow, okay, so escrow. I want to tell you guys, escrow it's a beast. It's taking $273 a month and change from me every month. And I went on the hunt. I'm on the hunt. Who knows that song? Okay. I want that thing gone because I feel like we have, reached almost the halfway mark in our mortgage payoff progress. Not even halfway mark. As far as it being a 30-year loan and paying it off in under 15 years. And I was under the assumption, this is why, guys, we got to get out of this frame of mind where we feel like we're doing something wrong, or we're not good enough, or we haven't met whatever the minimum requirements are. I was told that I had to keep my escrow intact until my mortgage was completely paid off. And that was just something that I was always told. Like, I'm talking like years ago from like people that are older than me. So I'm like, okay, they must know what they're talking about. Airplane. Helicopter, actually. Anyway, I called my personal credit union and talked to the actual source. And they told me that was absolutely incorrect. They said that this escrow removal process is something that occurs on a bank by bank basis, on a credit union by credit union basis, on a loan by loan basis. That's why it's called an escrow removal request. Your account is looked at. They take time, write down your account number, open it up, and they look at your history, y'all. They look and they check. This is from me, my personal credit union. They look at your progress over time. Were you late paying your regular mortgage payment ever? Did you ever have problems making your mortgage payment? Did you miss payments entirely? How often did you pay extra on your mortgage? How often did you experience an escrow shortage in your escrow account? Those are the types of questions they are going to have in their minds when they're looking at your mortgage. And the other minimum requirement for my credit union to even consider removing our escrow from our mortgage loan is that we had to have equity in our home. And I'll even go as far as to say you had to have a certain amount of equity in our home. In your home, my home, our home. And for us, the thing that really sucked is that we could have done this a long time ago. We could have at least put in the request a long time ago because we've always had equity in our home. And this, again, is knowledge and learning. And I have to be honest, I thought that, again, because I was told, I thought that they would not consider our equity. They would be more concerned about how much of our mortgage was left to pay off. So I thought that I would start to request escrow removal when we were like halfway paid off, maybe when we were like 75% paid off. No, our rep said, no, you could have requested it immediately because you purchased your home for $50,000, but your home is worth at least twice that. And in the current market right now, it's even up to 3 times that, which is so wild to even think and say. And so, shout out to the sellers of the home who sold it to us, definitely our family. And shout out to that rep for taking time to explain the whole process, to the point where, like, when I call in, I want to talk to that rep because you can tell they know what they're talking about. And so I invite you guys to call your credit union. Don't be scared. Call your bank, call your loan servicer, and find out what is really the deal with your escrow. What are the minimum requirements to have it removed? Now, I didn't say it was going to be easy, did I? I never said that. Nope, I never said that. Getting it done and saying you're going to do it were two different things, but it's here nor there. We're still making progress. So first thing I had to do was send a formal request via email. Boom, did that weeks ago. All right, boom, okay. Now I realize, hey, it's been 7 to 10 business days and I haven't heard back from them. I get on the phone, I call, we don't see your request. We don't know what you're talking about. And this is hours on the phone, waiting, talking to somebody. Understand, remember, we got on our aloha dress because we're celebrating. You're in Hawaii, you're wearing an aloha dress, something good is happening. I am waking up early to meet the East Coast time zone and be on the phone 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. And so to be on that phone for an extended time once or twice is no big deal, but I did that 4 days in a row before I got some progress made. And so my second tip for removing your escrow from your account is don't give up. Keep calling back. If you live in the state where your mortgage loan is being serviced from, whatever bank you go to, whatever credit union, go there in person. Take full advantage of the fact that you have a location in your state. If you got to drive a little bit, take the PTO, y'all. It's worth it. What if you could remove $273 minimum or more, whatever your mortgage payment is and whatever your escrow is, from your account? Like, that's crazy. So anyway, I'm talking like an hour before I started filming this video. I finally made a little bit of progress and realized that the whole hem up on why my escrow request hadn't even been responded to, marked as received, was because I had not turned in a handwritten request. We're not going to go there about why that's important or any of that. That is their way of verifying to make sure it's you. Apparently that's the norm with, requesting a payoff date and, all of that. Anyway, I wrote it a note formally. I took a picture and I emailed it to them. And that was also after being told, oh no, you have to mail it in or fax it in or bring it in person. Again, verifying stuff, security measures. I understand. We got to be careful in this day and age. But my profile has been updated forever to say that I don't live in Maryland anymore. Again, it was a whole thing. You could tell that whoever had been looking at our accounts didn't even think to say, oh, do they even live here? Imagine you're just considering if you're going to remove escrow and you don't even check to see who I am as a person. And this just goes back to say how we're nothing but numbers to these huge lenders. Okay, that's all they are, guys. The banks, whatever you want to call them, credit unions, they're all just lenders. They're all givers of debt. Okay, they're so quick to give it out, but to start that process of, hey, removing some things, it's a whole thing. And I wish there was more conversation about this because y'all, hours and hours to get to just the point where we're like, okay, it has been received formally. We are reviewing your account. We'll get back to you. Okay, well, how long will that be? It could be tomorrow. It could be next week. But either way, you're going to know, before the month is out, most likely, because, your account is definitely looking good as far as we can see already. And I also find it interesting how the people who actually do the work, like the person responsible, the person that is actually going to be like looking at Rochelle Adamson and Micah Adamson's account, doesn't actually talk to you. You're just talking to a bunch of middlemen. And so I'm like, well, when will I get to talk to the person? Oh no, we keep those people need to focus on their work. We take the phone calls for them. But you don't know about mortgages. So again, verify the information that you are receiving. Like I said, I have one person that I go to when I call. I ask for them by name. If they're not available, I wait for them to call back because I can tell they have the knowledge base. They want to help me out. They're interested. They care about their job. I talked to a ton of other people who were clearly working from home and didn't either have never had a mortgage loan before, because I feel like even if you have a mortgage, you should have like some knowledge. But it blew my mind how like nobody knew anything. So we got to stop, listening to what people are telling us and just taking their word for it and going with our life. Imagine I could have done this a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Who knows? But the point is, we got it done now. I hopefully will come back with good news in next month's mortgage payoff update to let you guys know that the escrow has been removed. One last piece is the rental property insurance. We got a lot of things going on here. We're paying down the mortgage. We have a tenant. It's a rental property. And so in the state of Maryland, there's things, guidelines, to-dos. You got to make sure that you're on the up and up, got to make sure things are in place. And like I said, this has all been a journey. We are someone who kind of like, we moved to Hawaii for 3 months for a contract, but then we ended up staying. And so we're kind of like figuring it out as we go. And so one of the things that I needed to check off my list was switching over our insurance, because we are not homeowners. We are owners, but we are not resident occupied homeowners anymore. And so in the state of Maryland, you need to switch your insurance over to rental property, landlord insurance. And so when I, called, and this is so funny, shout out to, I can't believe I made it through this whole video without saying Tanisha's name, because she was very valuable, is very valuable in making sure that I have the information, because she's experiencing, she's experienced some of the same things already. And so it's like talking to my future self, if you will. And so she drops tons of videos about this type of stuff when it happens in her life. Like, for example, she made a video on how to remove escrow, and that was the first time that I ever saw someone get it removed, because people always say, oh no, that's too hard. It's not that hard. It's just a lot of phone calls. I don't know if that's hard. That's just annoying. You know what I mean? So anyway, if it's important to you, do it. Anyway, she was the one that told me that, yeah, you need to switch over your insurance and you need to do it so you can save some money. So I called my insurance company and they say, no problem. Thank you for letting us know. And I say, you know what? I'm going to be honest and upfront with you guys. I have a tenant already. I didn't know that I was supposed to have these things in place. I'm supposed to have switched over to landlord insurance, and my tenant's supposed to have renter's insurance. I'm learning. I'm catching up, and we're fixing as we go. They said, no problem. Thank you for being honest. You called now. You're here now. Let's get it going. So they switched everything over and they said, okay, everything's done. I'm talking like it was done in like a matter of days, 24 to 48 hours. And they were like, oh, by the way, we see that your payments are normally made from your escrow account through your mortgage lender. Only change is you're going to have to be responsible for that now. So, we don't usually receive payments from mortgage lenders to cover landlord insurance, only homeowners insurance. And so I was like, oh, okay. I said, which is reason number 2, why I needed to remove escrow. Because if I have money going to escrow and it's not being used, why are we here? Why are we doing this? So I call my credit union and I say, hey, this is what they said. And they say, oh, okay, yeah, we'll let you know what happens. But yeah, it's looking like you're going to have to pay. So be prepared to pay when that bill becomes available. And so literally I got the bill like a week later. It was like a Monday or Tuesday. And y'all, for some reason, I got busier than I've ever been in my life. Like it was the busiest Hawaii week of my life, because living in Hawaii, I got to tell you, I have let a lot of stuff go, and I work very hard to act like I live in Hawaii, if that makes as much sense as it does. People try to say, oh, this is what you should do if you live in Hawaii. Beach life is very important, pool life, in that order, and then everything else. But anyway, I got busy and I did not. And then I'm like, Thursday night, crap, I forgot to pay the insurance. It's due tomorrow. Understand, I'm a budgeter, right? I'm a budgeter. I don't forget to pay stuff. So the fact that I did was just crazy. I go on and it says, thank you for your payment. And I'm like, Micah, did you pay? Oh, yeah, no, I did not pay. I've been at work. Okay. I go and log into my mortgage account and I see an escrow disbursement down to the penny in full for the next 1 year. My landlord insurance has been covered from my escrow account. I thought y'all said y'all don't do that. I thought 2 major companies just told me that y'all don't do that. I almost paid that. I was supposed to have paid that 4 days ago. When did it clear? When you ask? That day, that Thursday. They waited until the day before it was due to pay it. The value of having an escrow account. Now I'm looking at myself like, do I want to get rid of? Okay, yeah, I still want to get rid of this. I want to get rid of this. So anyway, I say all that to say again, definitely check everything out. Okay. Last piece on that is, I'm literally going off the dome, is the other piece of it is, it happened exactly like Tanisha said. My homeowner's insurance was higher than my landlord insurance. My landlord insurance meant that I got a check for $190 by the time everything dried, the ink was dry, everybody got paid, everybody was switched over, it was good. So I got paid for giving my home more coverage. So again, just run the numbers. Even if it's higher, still do it. Cover your property, y'all. If you want to know what it's like to have your property covered and then something bad goes wrong, check out Tanisha's channel. I mean, if you haven't heard what happened to her and you watch YouTube and you watch budgeting content and they haven't put one of her videos in front of you, I'm shocked because like everybody's talking about it. But anyway, the last piece of why I want to get my escrow removed and why you should consider it too is because thanks to this valuable rep, they spent time and they went down the list and told me everything that actually comes out of my escrow. Because remember, normally I would have PMI, but that fell off once we paid 80% of your mortgage loan. Once you cross that 80% mark, it's supposed to fall off. And I've talked in recent videos, past videos before, where I've said you have to call sometimes to make sure that John falls off. Ours did. And so what's left outside of the insurance? Okay, I'm just talking like this is the only other thing that comes out of our escrow account every quarterly or semi-annually or annually. Taxes. Property taxes comes out annually and it's about $2,000 annually. Then I have ground rent. Ground rent is $96 a year. You basically telling me for less than $2,500 a year, once we become mortgage free, the only thing I'll have to pay for that home, whether it's a tenant in it or not, is $2,500 to keep it in good standing in the eyes of Baltimore, Maryland. Like that is wild to me. I thought it would have been so much more. And understand, I have a beefed up escrow account because we've had our escrow account for so long. So why are they hemming all my money up? And why do they continue to take money from out of my hard-earned mortgage payment every month? This is why we question stuff, and this is why we get escrow payments. We request them to be removed, our accounts removed, because I could pay that myself, and that's what I plan to do. So, and you know, another thing that happened is that Tanisha and other people it's like 2 other videos I found where people talked about having their escrow account removed. They said, you know, the big thing is if, you know, you forget to pay it because it's only due once a year, twice a year. You know, that could be a big penalty. It could be, you know, some harder to deal with and fix. I understand that. But if you are someone who is on top of your finances, that's no big deal to you. And you're going to get that done. So like I said, being organized, budget is life. Like budget is actual life. Budget is so much more than what you're getting on payday. It is doing all of this stuff and keeping your finances in order and keeping them afloat. So like I said, grab you your mortgage payoff and home buying guide, okay? Your home buying and mortgage payoff guide. Make one for yourself. Talk to people. Talk in the comments on this video. What's the one tip you would give someone if they were to go out and purchase a home today? Like, what's one thing you wish you knew in the home buying process? What's one thing you wish you had known sooner in the mortgage payoff process? Because I feel like we separate the two lives when they're not happening by the same person. Like, you know, we're so focused on the wedding day, which is like the day we buy the house, that we don't think about all the work that's involved to keep the marriage intact forever. You know, forever is a long time. 30 years is a long time to be owing somebody some money. I'm done on my rant, y'all. That's the mortgage payoff update. I know people also look forward to seeing my home shaded in. We did this already on our mortgage payoff update videos. On my second channel, we had fun doing that, and we are actually down to, can you guys see that 12,000 mark? This 12,723 mark. So let's see, we were like $100 away from being able to shade that one in. It'll get done next month, but I'm just trying to get these 3 shaded in. Man, if I could get them 3 shaded in next month, that would mean in the month of December, we'd be shading in part of the word mortgage. Second thumbnail, just in case the first one ain't work out. That's all for today's video. I will see you guys tomorrow in our next video on our Goodbye October series. I'll see you guys. Peace, love, and budgets.